Welcome, everybody.
Hey, hey.
Work smarter where you want.
This is learning at its most fun.
Welcome, everybody, to another edition of a Best Practice Partner webinar with Redtail Technology. I am your host, Austin Johnson, trainer and subject matter expert here at Redtail Technology. Today, we're going to be taking a look at our integration with Intulse and giving you some best practices around using your phone system more efficiently. So I've invited my friend Keith today to come and join us to tell us a little bit about Intulse and how we can make the better call. Keith, are you there?
Yes, I am. Thank you so much, Austin, for the opportunity to share more about this integration. And we just love working with Redtail and serving your client base.
Yeah, definitely, Keith. Definitely miss seeing you out there on the road. I know if any of you on the call have joined us for Redtail University, you've probably met Keith and seen some presentations on Intulse. But we definitely miss getting to travel the country and hang out with you when we do our Redtail Universities.
Yeah, same here. Really love the excitement there and the excellent content that you guys deliver. You do an amazing job with education, and yeah, looking forward to getting back out there in 2021, hopefully.
All right, we'll see you there. All right, so today I kind of wanted to start off with just a little bit of your background, Keith, and Intulse's background. So can you share us a little bit about what your journey into this industry was like?
Absolutely. So Intulse was birthed when we realized that many, if not most, small businesses and even mid-sized businesses were not being well served by the telecom industry. They were either paying way too much for a few features or getting a pretty good deal on a cloud-based system, but receiving customer support that was lackluster at best. Redtail, incidentally, was one of our first CRM integrations that we built and has been by far our most popular offering.
Awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what Intulse's mission is? What do you guys desire to do?
You bet. So our mission, taken directly from our website, is to provide software and services for organizations to help them serve their clients and communities with ever-increasing impact. But that mission is informed by our vision, which is to make every organization we serve become raving fans.
Definitely. I think we share that vision in common, Keith. All right. So my question for you today is why is Intulse superior to the traditional phone system? Why is VoIP better? And what kind of sets you guys apart from other VoIP systems out there as far as saving advisors time and money?
Yeah, great question. So cloud-based VoIP is not only the way of the future, but the future is here, as I'm sure most of the callers on the line today recognize. Organizations that are still using traditional copper lines are limited in feature set, as well as limitation in the service, the customer service that can be provided. As an example, let's say a 10-person office has 10 lines. Not only is that very expensive when compared to a cloud-based solution, but if all 10 people are on the phone and someone calls into that business, guess what? They're going to get a busy signal. The second part of the question is really the secret sauce, if you will, that Intulse serves up. We take the position of an extension of an organization supporting their phone system. So we offload all of the responsibility and headaches that one of their advisors or their compliance officer or maybe an internal IT tech would normally be responsible for. And we free up their time so that they can focus on the things that actually make them money and supports excellent customer care. If someone searches Intulse reviews, one thing they will consistently find is raving reviews about our customer support. And that's something we're very pleased about because it's something we work very hard to maintain.
All right, Keith. Well, I think you've definitely grabbed our interest. We're curious to know more about Intulse. Can you give us a quick demo of it?
We'll start out with just a little bit of an overview of the system itself, and then we'll get. I think we're going to get specifically into the Redtail integration component. So let's go ahead and share the screen here. Okay, so we should be looking at 4 tabs we're on the portion of the screen that's called My Phone area in the Intulse dashboard. Is that what we're seeing, Austin?
That's right, Keith. We can see your screen perfectly fine.
Fantastic. Okay, so first thing I'm going to just mention here is that this is an app that we developed that runs on your laptop, desktop, ideally in a Chrome browser, and but it also installs natively in on your iPhone or Android device, and we can demonstrate that by just going like this, and you can see how it would render in a mobile situation. So one thing to keep in mind as I'm demonstrating the features and the functionality here is that you have all of this access in the palm of your hand as well as at the desktop laptop level. We have a built-in virtual phone, and so if I wanted to, right from this interface here, I can just put in a phone number, and I can call that number. And I'm just going to go ahead and hang up there. I'm not going to answer that call. Or I can receive calls through this interface as well. So that's something we're really excited about, that we're releasing this version of the software actually next Tuesday. So you guys are getting a preview of some of the latest tech that's available. You can also manage your voicemail inside of the app, which can be super convenient. You don't have a system to dial into or anything like that. You can just listen to your voicemails, delete them, forward them, whatever you need to do. You can also return a call with one click to the person's phone number that actually called into you. In the contacts area, you can import various contacts, and I'll show you later how you can actually search the Redtail database through here to find a contact and give them a call. This is your call history area. It's the first screen in the reports area, so you can see all of your call history, who it was with, if there was a call log note created and saved or not, and so we'll get into more of that momentarily as well. There's a queues area that can be managed by various people in your organization if they want to do that. A conferences area, the chat area or SMS communication area, and we'll talk a little bit more about that when we get into the Redtail integration specifically. You can send and receive faxes through this interface as well, and then there's an admin area also. Speaking specifically of the Redtail functionality, let's take a quick look at how you connect up Redtail to your Intulse phone solution if you guys were to come on board with us. It's as easy as putting in your login information and saving it, and then you might want to choose a few options here, like if you want to enable auto logging. I'll show you that in a few moments. If you want to create call logs as notes, or if you want to create those call logs as activities. And I think Austin's going to explain a little bit later the differences between the two and maybe the pros and cons of how they function. And then if you are using us for your SMS communications, we'll log that every night if you want back to that person's record in Redtail, so you have a history of those text communications. So anything else you think I should mention there, Austin, or should I dive right into the Redtail integration?
Yeah, I think we're all curious to
specifically
see how Redtail ties into all of this. So go ahead and show us the integration.
Great. So I'm going to do a couple of things virtually simultaneously here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to call into the system from a phone number that's going to be recognized by the Redtail database. I did minimize my screen so that you can see that you don't have to have anything specifically up on your screen for the call notification to come through. You hear the phone ringing in the background. This is making the connection and saying, oh, okay, so this is somebody that they found in Redtail. I went ahead and answered the call. And depending on the speed of your system, you can literally be in somebody's record in Redtail before you answer the phone, but certainly at approximately the same time, which can be super convenient so that you know who it is that's on the line when you pick up, and you can be in the best position to see recent history and maybe some other contact information, or just valuable information about who that caller is. Now, in the event that you miss that notification or it didn't show up because your phone's not in the ring group of the initial callers, it's not a problem at all because you have a couple of other ways that you can get to that contact. So this area over here is basically extension monitoring. And again, it's permission-based, but in most organizations, most people can monitor the other folks' extensions in their organization and see if they're on the phone or not. We actually have granular permissions that give you the ability to see that somebody is on the phone, but not necessarily see who they're on the phone with, which is kind of cool. We've had a lot of organizations ask for that sort of privacy. So you can get super granular with your settings. But what's nice about this is, let's say that a receptionist has taken this call, and I happen to look here in my dashboard, and I'm like, oh, well, I know that this individual, Keith Demo, is actually my client. So I'm pretty sure that this call is going to get transferred back to me. So I can click into Keith's information here, and I can see the important information that was entered into the Redtail system about Keith. Super helpful and valuable. And then in this case, I already know who the servicing advisor and the writing advisor is because it's me. But in some cases, this could be valuable to somebody on your team to be able at a glance to know, oh, this is who their advisor is. So rather than saying, who is your advisor, they can say, would you like me to see if Jim is available, for example. So that can be super helpful. And then from this screen, you just click on their name, and there you are. You are back into that person's record right in Redtail from there. So this would be looking at it from the perspective of somebody else is on the call with that person. Over here, you have the same functionality. This is your extension. You're on an active call. When you click into here, you have the same information available to you. Another thing that you can do through this interface, which is super helpful, especially if you're using the mobile version, is I'm running late for an appointment. I want to give Keith a call, give him a heads up that I'm running late, but I don't know his number off the top of my head. How am I going to get it quickly? I can just start typing his name right here. I see that this is a mobile number. I click call. There we go. So that could be done either in through this interface here, or certainly from the mobile version of the app as well. The other thing that is very helpful with the integration that we've built is that every phone number in the Redtail database is now going to become a click-to-dial phone number. So I can just confirm that I do want to dial that number and click OK, and it's going to ring that number. If I would actually do a callback through this interface here, like if I came up to here and I clicked on this phone number here, it's actually going to auto dial right through this interface here because I have my virtual phone enabled. I think the last piece of the integration that I want to cover here for you all is the ability to actually create a call log while you're on the phone. So this would be a situation where you are doing manual call logging. And so while you're on a call, if you wanted to, you can just click here where it says create call log, and you can start typing a subject right in here. And then you can type, some information about the call while you're on it right here. And then either before or right after you hang up the call, you just click save. You're going to get a little notification if you hang up before the call occurs, and it's going to tell you that there's a note that's going to be created shortly after the call ends. So there it is. I just queued up a call log and a note to be saved as soon as I hang up this particular call. So one of the nice things about doing manual call logging is that you have the ability to save notes, context about the call itself. While you're saving that, let's take a look at one of those. So this is the information that I typed in, for example. This is the information that the phone system knows. If you use auto logging, then the only information the system knows is this information down here, the direction of the call, the day and the day that the call was made and the time it started, the duration, the phone number it was with, which again is also click to dial. And then if the call was recorded, a download link to that call recording. So that's basically like a pro and con between auto logging and manual call logging. And then, as I mentioned, you have the ability to choose, do you want to log as a note, which is what this is, or do you want to log as an activity, which is what this one is. And you can see the difference. And like I said, we'll let Austin explain a little bit in a bit about the difference between the two and why you might choose one over the other. I think the last thing that I'll mention here as far as the integration component is the SMS component. So over here in this chat area, you can see that we have some chat communication with this same person, Keith Demo, in the Redtail system. So any place that this phone number could be displayed within the Intulse system, it's going to translate it into the actual name as that person is represented in the Redtail database and give you the ability to get that information. So here has been some chat communication that's been entered. This is texting back and forth between this particular cell phone that belongs to Keith Demo and an advisor within this organization. And so this is not able to be edited or deleted. And at the end of every day, it would get logged back to Keith Demo's record in Redtail as a note showing all of the text communications that happened that day. One last thing that I'll mention, not necessarily specific to the Redtail integration, but the ability to transfer calls with point and click, and the ability to start and stop recording right through this interface here, or send the call to your mobile device. So I think that pretty much covers the key items that I wanted to go over and what the Redtail integration does. Austin, would you like to take it away with talking about the difference between a note and activity and why folks might choose one over the other?
Absolutely, Keith. I just got to say that it's been really cool to watch Intulse grow into the levels of integration. Like, I was already impressed with, the note logs, but now we have activities, we have SMS. Your team's just doing a really great job of continually making that integration deeper and deeper for our both Intulse and Redtail users. So thank you for that. Okay, so to Keith's point here about activities versus notes. Should I be entering my call logs as activities or should I be entering them as notes? I would say, as the Redtail trainer, I would advise it depends on what your end goal is with it. So remember that activities are indicating the future versus notes indicate the past. Things that have happened, activities indicate things that will happen. So in the examples that Keith provided, with the note, we're just recording what was said on the phone call. There's really nothing more to it. It's just basically making a historical record that the phone call happened and these were the things that were discussed. Now, if we go back to the activity that was created, you notice that there was a request that was made. It's a rollover request. Something more needs to be done with this. It's not finished. And so for that reason, we're going to enter it into an activity. So the golden rule here with activities versus note is if there's still more to do, if there's something that needs to be done in the future, I'm going to enter it in as an activity versus if I'm finished with it and I just need to make a historical record of it, I'm just going to add it as a note. And then keep in mind that activities, when completed, become notes. So a finished activity is now a past historical record, and so therefore it transforms into a note. So again, really just ask yourself the question, is there anything more I need to do with this particular request, instance, phone call? If the answer is yes, make it an activity. If there's no further follow-up needed, make it a note.
Thanks so much for joining us today for this particular session. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to give us a call at 800-206-5030, option 3 for support, or just shoot us an email over to support@redtailtechnology.com. Thanks a lot and have a great day.